Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today. Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.
Doing today. Welcome to the Cigars with Mac podcast, doing the daily podcast. And today we're going to talk about why so many divorces? That's right. Why so many divorces? Why so many divorces, people? Today's podcast is brought to you by La Gloria Cubana Esteli. Again, La Gloria Cubana Esteli. I've been smoking La Gloria Cubanas for a while. This is a different style from the La Gloria Cubana family, but so far so good. So far so good. Anyway, what prompted me to talk about why so many divorces today is the Cardi B and Offset marriage, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, they were legally married, so, you know, they were legally married. But anyway, this has been a big hysteria, a big talking point in media today. And I want to give my 2 cents on it. You know how I do. A lot of people say they're not into celebrity gossip, but yeah, right. I mean, I wouldn't even consider this gossip anyway. It's just what's going on in the world around us. But we're Americans, man. We love good, juicy gossip. We love that type of stuff. So, I'm going to play a video from none other than Miss Bacardi B. So, stand by.
So everybody been bugging me and everything, and you know, I've been trying to work things out with my baby father for a hot minute now, and we're really good friends, and you know, we're really good business partners, and you know, he's always somebody that I run to talk to, and we got a lot of love for each other, but things just haven't been working out between us for a long time, and it's nobody's fault. It's just like, I guess we grew out of love, but we're not together anymore. I don't know, it might take time to get a divorce, and I'm going to always have a lot of love for him because he is my daughter's father, and yeah.
After years of being on again, off again, Cardi B and Offset have called it quits. Cardi B...
There you have it, folks. That's a short clip, short little sound bite. From none other than you know who, Miss Cardi B. So as she said, they just fell out of love. Whatever the fuck that means. And also, I'm gonna go through a few little reasons why people get a divorce. But let's talk about Offset and Cardi B. Now, many will probably say that this is a Hollywood wedding, but some of these people you folks celebrate, they have real lives. They have real lives. They have families. They live. And they're not always on social media 24/7, even though Miss Cardi B is with her bullshit all the time. You know, she got into it with the young lady by the name of Candace Owens, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Because that was nothing but a shit show on both ends, if you ask me. that was nothing but a shit show. But as we all know, and if you don't know, Mr. Offset, you know, he's been caught cheating on Cardi B. Even though Cardi B talks all that wet ass pussy and hoe shit, and it's not really, and I wouldn't necessarily say hoe, but a woman, as they say, living her best life type shit. She was even married. Even quote unquote hoes want to get married, people. But it's only so much a woman can really take, you know. After a while, you don't want to be treated like shit, man. That's not cool. That is not cool at all. So I understand her reasoning for getting a divorce. I understand it. Also, I'm drinking me some community coffee out of a Yukon Outfitters mug that I got from Buc-ee's. I love Buc-ee's, people. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. But anyway, I feel that Cardi B got tired of Offset's, you know, cheating and things like that. You know, she has a public image and she would look stupid constantly taking this guy back. I mean, this fool don't even have enough sense to do his things, do his skullduggery and adulterous type shit in a, you know, a discreet matter. I mean, damn, dude, you are a public figure. How's this shit leaking out? You cheating. That's crazy. But anyway, a few of the reasons why I feel like people get divorced is because they just want the wedding. They don't really want to be married. The wedding is cool. You got your wedding, you know, women, you getting dolled up, you know, you getting your nice dress, you know, you getting your chariot. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. People go into debt for a wedding. I knew a couple that actually went into debt for a wedding. Thank God they didn't have kids. But they went into debt for a wedding. They took out a loan for a wedding, man. I remember my wife and I, we actually got married in our pastor's study, his office. We got married. You know, I had on a nice little shirt and tie. You know, we love the color brown. It's such a confident color. And we both had on brown, and, you know, she was looking good and I was looking good. And we got married in our pastor's study, and we went to a little motel in Duncanville, Texas, and went to KFC when it was really good back in the day. And, you know, we've been married ever since then. That's been about close to 14 years. We dated for like 9 months. And, you know, here we are today. So I think one of the reasons why I saw why people get a divorce, I think one of the things was that they get married too quick. I don't believe that. Mind you, I was 21, and I pretty much told my wife, "Hey, let's get married. If I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it." And that was real talk. And she was with me and been down with me ever since. And I think people get it misconstrued. Wedding takes, I'm sorry, not wedding. Marriage takes work. Any relationship takes work. Friendships take work. Relationships with your children take work. It's not just about you disciplining your kids when they do bad and giving them, ice cream and cake when they do good. It's about knowing them inside and out and understanding that each kid is different. And as if you have kids. And it's the same way with your spouse. And when I speak of marriage, I'm talking about husband and wife. So, it's about knowing each other in and out, through and through. I hear people all the time say, I divorced her or I divorced him because he or she did not make me happy anymore. One thing my mother used to always tell me, it's not a person's job to make you happy. That's too much of a responsibility. And I even heard Will Smith say that. And you know what? They're right. I remember telling my wife's parents, it's not my job to make her happy. Every day she gets up, she has to decide she's going to be happy. And my wife has never said that, mind you. But they made a comment about that years ago. And I said, it isn't her job to make me happy. And I think that's what people get marriage jacked up at. I've even heard of some couples being married so long that they eventually sleep in separate beds. Now, I don't think I could do that. For obvious reasons, you know that. But some people are there in their marriage where they do that. They just are. They're there where, hey, you sleep in their room, I'm going to have my room. They're pretty much, I wouldn't necessarily say they're roommates. That's probably just a deep level of friendship and understanding. And they probably still come together when they want to have sex and make love. But I couldn't do that. But I always say, do what works for you. Don't do what works for me. Do what works for you and your household. I got a little cousin, he's married, and everybody, want him to have a baby and this, that, and the third. And I told him, I said, hey, man, we were married 3 years till we had kids. So, I mean, there's no rush to have children right away. Why? Because you two still need to know each other. You two still need to be able to communicate, because when those kids are long gone, all you two have is each other. When you guys are empty nesters, all you two have is each other. So you guys need to get to know each other well. You need to figure out, each other's quirks, because you are going to have that. And that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. So you got to figure those things out, people. Nothing wrong with that. I have nothing against that at all. But when it comes to divorce, remember, this is my opinion. I've never been divorced before. So I'm only going to speak from an opinionated basis and off of opinionated reasons why off the internet. They're not necessarily scholarly reasons why, because I don't think you can really scholarly base divorce. I don't. But here are a few reasons why. People get divorced. Now, let me see if this pulls up right here. The top 20 reasons or 20 divorce facts for 2020. This was brought to you by GillespieShields.com. This is probably a law office. Let me see right quick. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, this is a law office. This is yeah, I figured so. All right, so who would know better than a law office, a family and divorce attorney? Of course, they're gonna know. Number one reason why is some of the most common reasons given by divorce. By divorcing couples are lack of commitment, infidelity, they argue too much, they were married too young, or they had unrealistic expectations. I could see that. That goes back to what I was saying earlier, where some people enjoy the wedding, but they don't understand the marriage. They think a marriage is, hey, some men, they believe, hey, it's her job to pick up my nasty ass drawers. No, it's not her job. Pick up your own damn drawers, man. For real. I mean, come on. Your wife is not your damn slave. You get nowhere like that. Yes, you are the man. Yes, you are the head. But damn, dude, can you not pick up your damn drawers? Also, infidelity. That is a big issue. And I believe a lot of infidelity happens when lack of sex. You're not communicating to your spouse what you want. Or they're not doing what you want sexually. Or there are certain limitations you have. You're like, hey, I'm not going to do this when that's what she wants. Or he wants, such and such, and you're not doing it. Well, that'll make a person go out and cheat. I don't care what you're talking about. I'm a firm believer in, and this is just my opinion, you don't have to agree with it, but marriage is 90% sex and 10% communication. Or we can say it's 75% sex and 25% communication. That's my opinion. Why? Because if you're not having sex, nothing else really matters. I hear a lot of people who are not married say it's about communication and all that bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm telling you it is. If you're not having sex, man, nothing else matters. Jeez, why don't people get that? Another was married too young. Well, there's a catch-20 to that. What is married too young? Because to me, the younger the better. If you guys want to have kids, get married in your early 20s. By the time you're 40, your kids are grown and gone. Essentially. We do have people who still live with their parents, so no offense to them. That's not my thing, but okay. They argue too much. Well, I believe if you don't argue, you have an unsuccessful marriage. You have to argue. You're going to have disagreements, people. Nothing wrong with that. I knew a couple that said they never argued and they're divorced now. That's probably why you're divorced, because you never argued. Nobody's going to agree on everything. Who wants to be with somebody that always agrees with you. Yeah, you don't want anyone that's disagreeable, but you know, you want somebody that still has their own mindset. Like when Cardi said they were business partners. They're great business partners. Maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe you guys need to learn how to separate business from your marriage. Let's look at another reason why people get a divorce. It says number two is millennials. Both marriage, and this is for 2020, both marriage and divorce rates are decreasing. Millennials are waiting longer to get married and are staying married longer, driving the decline of both the marriage and divorce rate. I can believe that also. Number one is this pandemic. Why would you get a divorce right now? Now is the time you have time to actually work on your relationships. Also, number three says divorced friends. A person with a close friend who gets divorced is 147% more likely to get divorced themselves. I can believe that. Which is the reason why I don't really hang around single guys. I do have a friends that are divorced, who've been remarried, or they remain single. But they have amount of respect for me knowing that I have a wife. As a man, I don't allow other people to influence me, but some people do. Some women do. Number 4, the 7-year itch. It says the 7-year itch is a real thing. On average, a first marriage that ends in divorce lasts about 8 years. That's questionable right there. But I can see where the article is coming from. Number 5, second marriages. Some of the most common reasons given for divorce by divorcing couples are lack of commitment, infidelity, they argue too much, they were married too young, and or they had unrealistic expectations. Number 6, living together. It says couples who live together prior to marriage increase their chances of divorce by 40%. Wow. Number 7 says dancers. This is a person with a close friend who gets divorced is 147% more likely to get divorced themselves. Some of these are kind of repeating themselves, so please forgive me. It says number 8, January is divorce month. People generally start looking for attorneys during the holidays, but with attorneys out of the office, they are forced to wait until after New Year's. It says January 12th through the 16th is the most popular week for filing divorces in the U.S. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Why do I say that? Because that's a hell of a time to drop divorce on somebody. Wow. Let's go through some more. Okay, this is interesting. It says Iowa has the lowest divorce rate, with Illinois, Massachusetts, and North Dakota right behind. So these states have the lowest divorce rate. That is interesting. I did not know that. Wow. That is interesting, people. This is the first time me reading this. I just kind of researched a couple things. I kind of skimmed through it, but I didn't actually just go through and read this. And this is very interesting. So we all learning this information together. It says Nevada has the highest divorce rate in the nation. Number 11. People older than 50. Their divorce rate has doubled in the past 25 years. 25% of those people were over 50. That's crazy. So what does that tell me? That says that maybe they waited until the kids got grown and out of college before they said, let's hang it up. And I respect that. Number 12 says, geographically, the northeastern part of the U.S. has the lowest rate of divorce, while the South, we have the highest divorce rate. I didn't know that. I'm going to try to get to all these because I have to handle some business. But if I don't, we will do a continuation of this podcast. Number 13 is religion. Religion can be an influencing factor. Those who have strong religious belief have 14% less risk of divorce, and those with non-religious affiliation are 14% more likely to get a divorce. Well, that's a little questionable, especially in America, because we are a Christian nation. And the majority of people getting divorces here are Christians. So that's a little hard to believe, but hey, these guys are lawyers. I think they know what they're talking about. It says education can also be a factor, as high school dropouts are 13% more likely to get divorced, and those who have attended college have a 13% lower risk of divorce. Number 15 is income. Those with an annual income of more than $50,000 a year have a 30% decreased risk of a divorce compared to those with an income of less than $25,000. Well, this goes back to getting married young. Because when you get married young, you really don't have that much money statistically. You're establishing yourself. You know, you're out on your own now. So money's going to be a little tight. So I understand that. And statistically, the longer you stay together, the more money you should make together. It says number 16, if only one spouse smokes, the couple is 75 to 91% more likely to end their marriage in divorce. Interesting. Number 17, couples who have a similar heavy drinking patterns are more likely to stay together. However, if one of the spouses is a heavy drinker and the other one is not, the couple is 60% more likely to get divorced. That's another one that's kind of questionable. This is a good cigar, people. All right. 18. Babies. Yes, I love babies. Babies and puppies. Couples who have a baby at least 7 months after marrying have a 24% decreased risk of divorce. Number 19. 60% of couples who get married between the ages of 20 to 25 will end in divorce, while those who get married after the age of 25 are 24% less likely to get divorced. I could understand that. Last but not least, number 20, cost. In the U.S., the average total cost of divorce is $15,000. Interesting. That's very interesting. Here it says, research suggests that the nature of love changes over time. Wow. I feel like I love my wife more now than I ever have before because of the things we've been through, and we are still together. So love does change over time. Some people it decreases, some people like myself it increases. But I don't completely disagree with that. Did you know that the financial and emotional toll of a divorce can debilitate individuals and devastate families? Hell yeah, it can. Yes, it can. Why? Because income is being taken out of the house. My next podcast, I'll probably dig into a part 2, maybe. I don't know yet. It depends on how I feel. But these are a few reasons, research-wise, why people divorce. All of these I don't necessarily agree with. I don't even know how factual that they are. But, it's always good to hear a second opinion because I don't know everything. I don't know everything, and it's okay not to know everything. I'm one who really I don't even give marriage advice. I don't even feel I'm qualified to give marriage advice because what may work for me may not work for you. So, with that being said, I think in 2020, divorces have decreased only because of the pandemic. I really do. I really believe that. And I also believe that people have unrealistic expectations. I believe that. What's your thoughts on that? That's how I feel about it. But anyway, folks, thank you for tuning into the Cigars with Mac podcast. Thank you for liking and following me on Spotify and sharing my podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, if you're not having sex in your marriage, it means nothing. That's me. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. And that's it, people. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Buying a used truck can be full of unknowns, but at Penske, we know trucks. Our expert sales team can help you find the right used vehicle to meet your business needs. Plus, at Penske, buying is easy with financing, insurance, and warranty programs available. Leave the unknowns behind and buy with confidence. View Penske's entire inventory, current deals, manager specials, and used truck center locations at PenskeUsedTrucks.com.
I just got back from my FlexSure treatment and I feel amazing. FlexSure treatments are an elevated spa experience that gives you more youthful looking skin. Ready for your customized body boost? Talk to a doctor to see if FlexSure treatments are right for you.